Okay. Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. I'm really excited. I'm going to try to stay focused. I really, really lose my focus when I'm with this. You might lose your focus too, but that's the whole
We're
point.
going to be bouncing off the walls.
I know. So I wanted to talk about the power of words today for so many reasons. I'm a word nerd deeply, but also because I feel like our friendship has been really about like unpacking words, like words that we both either grew up with that like fucked us up, and then words that we reclaimed, some words that you like let go of forever, and then words that you help other people redefine. You know, I have like a fun little game idea, but first I just wanted to talk about the word weird, because I feel like for me, was weird like a word for you growing up?
Actually, yeah, it was. I loved the word weird.
Did you?
Some people don't see it weird in the way that I see it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think weird is weird. I think weird is like weird. I had changed it into like something that was kind of like cool and quirky.
But you know the root of the word weird is like the coolest shit ever.
Please tell
It's like
me.
really magical. So
Oh my God, I love that. That
yeah,
really
it is.
excites me.
Yeah, when I found out, I was like, it's a
makes
conspiracy. Of course, they're trying to keep my magic
That
down.
always happens.
I know.
That always happens. Whenever I get attached to something and then like you'll tell me what it means, I'm like,
It is, and it's always like some
Of
mystical,
course.
magical shit that like
Exactly.
has been hidden
and it
in
makes
our.
perfect sense.
So yeah, weird is like the weird sisters in like Shakespeare were the prophetic oracle sisters. And so they were like the ones that would like have premonitions. And so weird, it's actually just something that's like mystically other than, because it's attuned to like a frequency that's different than just normal.
I love that.
Do you want to explain outside? Because it feels like the perfect thing to explain. Well, I don't know. Depending on who you are watching,
people
some people you didn't know.
I was like, how do you know outside? And they
So
were
many
like, 'cause
people
we're
know.
outside.
It's like weird.
Like, here's like reality, and like right now you're like on
You're
the
outside. Which means some people are permanently outside. Like your brain is existing outside
Yeah.
the realm of what is normal. You're operating from like a completely different dimension of
Yeah.
thought, and your paradigms are like super expanded. But sometimes outside also means
It's
like
bad.
you're
I've gone outside.
just wait, like you've now lost the whole tether
Gripped
to where the
reality.
inside is.
Like,
We have to leave the train? We don't have to do anything, Morty. This is just a structural guide. We're obviously gonna impart our own style. I don't like how meta this is getting, Rick. Shut up, Morty. You're 14. You watch videos of people on YouTube reacting to YouTube. I'll be the judge of when we get too meta.
Because also
I've had
inside can
all
be
of them.
great.
Yeah, I love being inside.
Yeah. Inside is like when some shit's like just so in the pocket, or like you watch something and it's just like
That's
perfectly hits.
inside,
That's
yeah.
like inside.
I love that about it, the meaning of it, which I think
Context.
is, yeah, I think it's so cool.
Which is really like all words.
Yeah.
So that's
Even
like
weird.
Yeah.
Even weird can be good and
basically
bad.
all words, and that's why I'm a word nerd, is because I feel like we don't question until we get older usually like what words actually mean and what they mean to us. So even if words mean certain things to other people, they don't have to mean that to us.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's like a bit fucked up because it can be really tricky to redefine words for yourself when to like an entire group of people.
It means something else.
Yes.
Yeah, and you can really misinterpret what someone's saying to you, because if someone says something that like you have this negative
Yes.
connotation, but they're using it in a different way.
That's been the amazing thing about our friendship, is that different words would trigger us, but then you know the person loves you.
Yeah.
So even though you would say a word that made me feel like it was a criticism, I knew it wasn't one, and my brain went, "Oh," and it was like my wires would get crossed. So then it's like we had to hash out like,
Have those
what does this
what
word
does it
mean? How does
to
it mean to you?
Yeah.
Oh, it
Or
means
how
this
did
to
you
you.
mean that?
Exactly.
It's like
Yeah.
I think it's important for people to do that as well, like when they're having conversations that are not like in-person conversations. The power of words is so intense.
Yes,
I think in
it's
a text,
so intense.
because all you have is
Is
the
your
words.
own. It's
And
your own
understanding
interpretation
of those
which
words.
can be totally
You don't have like
skewed.
your voice and your
Yes,
face
and the energy
your,
of the other
it's-
person.
Just don't do text conversations. Basically, don't text anybody ever.
As much as I'm that person for like redefining certain words, I'm also, I think, very controversial for other people. Like there are certain words that really offend other people. Like there are some women and femme identified people, like using the word bitch to them is really offensive. And
I don't get that at all.
I mean, that's
I mean,
like
I get it. I understand
probably
why, but
what we call each other the most.
I use that word all the time.
all the time
Yeah.
as like a sign of respect.
It's a term
like-
of endearment for me.
Yeah. Like bitch.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
exactly,
call you
strong.
like if you're being a bitch the way other people.
I
I'm
won't
not
call you
gonna
a
call you
bitch.
that because you don't deserve that.
Sometimes I do in a moment of anger. I'll be like, why are you being a bitch?
I get in trouble with people a lot in terms of I'm trying also now, and anybody who's listening, I'm genuinely interested. I can't promise that like I'm gonna get it right because some of my friends also are like, you know, there's different words, there's different pronouns for non-binary, for trans, like all these different people. My friends, some of my friends of color expect certain language, others want other language. The truth is, unfortunately, there really is no right or wrong. There's just kind of like what you set as a standard as acceptable or unacceptable for yourself, and then the people you surround yourself with.
Yeah, definitely.
But then at the same time, we all kind of know that like there is this weird moral territory where like some things are just how you use words can be right or wrong.
If you can just like educate
Yeah.
in a kind way, not everyone's gonna get it. Like people
Yeah.
don't understand. Maybe they know one thing and not the other.
Yeah.
And it's like all of our responsibility to
Yeah.
be able to like teach each other without judgment.
Yes. It's like wanting to still teach, but then also be teachable.
Right.
Okay, so I'm sure everybody knows, you know, there's that game where at like a party you put like names, what is it? Usually names of famous
It's
people.
like- it's-
and then someone has like a card on their head and then you describe that person to the person with the card on their head without saying the name
Top
of
deck.
who they are.
Is it called top deck? You're like
Tash is somewhere being like, you idiots, this
Yeah.
is what it's called. Okay. But basically, I want to do it with words. So, like, we're going to choose a word that maybe has some sort of, like, controversial connotation
I
or
know
something.
mine.
Do you?
I know mine.
I don't know mine.
Oh no, I'm so scared. I'm gonna say really non.
So we might. So that's really why I want to do it. By the way, anybody who knows us, and if you don't, like,
You best not get offended.
we are the most everything and everyone. Like, you like girls, you like guys. You're a girl and a guy. You like feel like in this life you're not a human. You're a horse with a spirit from another. Like, you're it's whatever, anything,
cool, man.
all the everythings. So the
Come with
point
all your
is,
weirdness.
come with all
We're
of
here
it,
for it.
all of it. But the point is that even people like us who care have so many like layered perceptions. You want to go first?
It's not gonna be hard to explain though.
It's okay.
Okay, good.
Okay.
A bad word for vagina, but we use it in a good way.
Oh, but that's several words.
It's something that people use as an offensive slur.
Is it cunt?
Yes.
Okay, good. Let
But
me
we
tell you-
use it in a good
let me-
way. We're like,
because
"Hey, cunt."
I just looked
you're
this
such a
up.
cunt.
By the way, on the note of trivia, a vagina is the birth canal. The vulva
Is the pussy.
all the other. Yeah, it's the cunt. Like the stuff that we call the cunt is called the vulva. Is such a nicer. This whole time in my life, I could have been calling my situation a vulva, like
instead of a
instead of a vagina. On that note, I was also trying to find the root of the word pussy and like how did pussy become. There's a
Right.
lot of different theories, but there's a couple. One's
God.
really gonna freak you out.
I'm ready.
Okay, so one is that it originally came from the Old Norse word puss, which means which means pocket pouch. So gross.
That's where you keep things. It's a story.
Pocket pouch.
Wow.
Wow. Okay, the other one is from the word pusillanimous, which means cowardly. That's, you know, when people are like pussy.
So basically, it's got several different meanings, and when you use them in different ways, it comes from
Exactly.
a different thing.
Yes. But I don't, who's the comedian who does the skit about like, I think it's Trevor Noah, but how he's like, when are we gonna upgrade that calling someone a pussy is ridiculous because pussies are like
amazing.
pussies are like the fucking strongest, like you just pushed out a human
Yeah,
being, like you
exactly.
fucking like
I have found the pussy to be one of the strongest things I have ever come across in my life. Don't be a pussy. The vagina is one of the most powerful. You realize vaginas can start revolutions and end wars. You realize even on a physical level, the vagina is one of the strongest things that have ever existed. Virtually indestructible. Many men in this room, many men in this room have tales of how they once defeated the pussy. Let me tell you now, they have not.
It's not an insult.
No.
Even I don't find any of these things insults.
No, but I think that's because... Okay, so what is some word like this that
If a guy called
would...
me a cunt...
Right. Would that offend you?
Yes.
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 In a certain way.
Yeah.
I grew up with my dad calling me a cunt.
That would really fuck me
all
up.
the time. Calling me a cunt.
He's a big cunt for calling you a cunt.
He definitely got a whole mouthful of words from me by the age of like 5.
Of course.
But that's also, so like part of my passion around this is because my dad, English is his third language.
Yeah.
He's a very old school guy who has grown a lot in his life. And my dad and I are homies, by the way. But growing up, we were like fucking like, from the age of 5, like he was calling me a cunt and I was like screaming at him.
And not letting you eat pasta for fuck's sake.
And he was calling me fat all the time. So it made me really, really like infatuated with language because I just realized that like as I grew, because it really fucked me up, you know, a word can become someone's torturer or like your healer.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try. Okay, traditionally this would mean that you really love to fuck and...
Slut.
Yeah. I actually wanted to ask you about this word because I don't think I've really heard you ever use this word so much.
Because I think that...
Is this an actually offensive word
this
to
one
you?
offends me.
I wanted to ask. That's why I
Yeah.
chose it.
Yeah, this
Tell
one
me
offends
why.
me because...
First of all, the word also feels...
It's not a nice
something
word.
like
It's
slut.
slimy and
feels like
snaky.
slit, slut. Like it's invasive somehow.
All of that stuff.
This word also feels so unowned by women. Like it
Yeah.
feels like even
Yeah.
cunt feels like there's more of a relationship that like...
Yes, because I've taken cunt back myself.
Yeah, exactly. But slut, I just don't think... I
it-
just left
it
that word.
hurts me.
This is one of the ones where it's like instead of redefining it, I just like ditched it. I was
really,
like...
I hate it. It really
Because
hurts
it
me.
feels like you feel the history of how this word has been used to literally like exile.
The depth of this word for me is even to the extent that like I removed myself from like social groups.
Yeah.
Because I thought that that's what they thought of me. Even
Yeah.
if they didn't, even though there was never a conversation, like I alienated myself from so many different people because I thought that was my concern. Yeah, it's definitely a loaded word for me.
I want to look up where slut came from because I have no idea.
Yeah, okay, great.
Don't you
Because
think
I
that's
also
interesting?
I love like saying the words and then
It's
knowing
so
where they
I'm
came
obsessed with etymology. Okay, so this is weird. The first appearance of the word slut is in the Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer. The word slut had absolutely nothing to do with a person's sexual appetite. It was used to describe a man who had an untidy appearance. Like, what is this world?
Where did this come
Like,
from?
how
Who did this to us?
How did some untidy man become like
some
our whole...
chokora. Like, it's just, that's what...
became like
Slut.
became like a way to demonize women. Okay, wait, what happened later? In the 15th century, housemaids and lower income women were called sluts if they weren't particularly spick and span with their housework. Wow.
So basically, like, if you haven't got like your sex shit together, then you're a slut.
You're gonna lose your shit.
Oh, no.
Okay, the phrase slut's hole is old slang for trash cans.
That's it.
That's what we
it.
feel when
Trash.
someone says slut.
Like a trash
You're a
can.
trash hole.
Like a fuck.
That's really disgusting and very accurate.
I hate that
isn't
so
that
much.
so horrible?
You know what? I don't think.
And the fact that it's attributed to like lower income women that are doing the best they can to survive. And then if they're not spick and span with their housemaid work, then they're called like sluts hole.
Yeah, okay.
That's just really like... Okay, you decide if you want to keep that word or not, but that one's an X for me.
I'm not
reclaiming slut.
that word. I don't like it.
I'm not reclaiming slut at all.
There's nothing.
So it's like basically went from being if you're a sloppy guy to like if you're untidy with your pussy. Is that like that's how the correlation happened somehow?
That's exactly what it is.
Amazing.
With your trash pussy.
Yeah, your trash hole. Wow.
I don't like that. It's
horrific. I'ma show you some more on the other side.
On the other side, on the other side, on the other side.
This podcast is a safe space for the misfits, the rebels, the madmen, the geniuses. We see you.